I'd like to call the meeting to order at 6:30. And in the spirit of reconciliation, we'll begin by acknowledging the traditional territories of the people of Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta, which includes the Blackfoot Confederacy, members Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, the Stoney Nakoda of Bearspaw, Chiniki, and Wesley First Nations, the Dene of Tsuut'ina First Nations, the Métis Nation Region 3, and all those that made Treaty 7 lands their home. So thanks, everybody. We got 1.5 out there in the audience joining us tonight. Thanks for coming by tonight. In the event of an emergency, we'll just be directed to the doors closest to the gentleman. And if you could just check your phones are on silent or vibrate, that'd be appreciated. Washrooms are in the back. And with that, let's get rolling. Can I get we have a few amendments to the agenda. 8.1 and 11.2. So if I can get an adoption to the agenda as amended. Thank you, Councillor Holiday. All those in favor to adopt. Oh, excuse me.
Sorry,
Or no. Yeah.
What is 11.2?
Sorry, 11.2 is an EDC verbal update from Councillor Gordon or Councillor Clover. 8.1 CAO Davey. Correspondence?
No, Chair, it's the APRAC, the jump onto the network. So
right.
MOU between the town and RC.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so it's 8.1 and 11.2 as amended, motion by Councillor Holiday, and all those in favor? That's carried unanimously. Okay, let's move on to the adoption of the meeting minutes. We've got 3.1. Any concerns, edits, comments? I take a motion to adopt that. Thank you, Councillor Martin. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. 3.2, the committee of the whole meeting, April 9th last week. Any comments, concerns, edits? Okay, I'd take another motion for that one. Councillor Clover gives me that. All those in favor? Wonderful. And last but not least, 3.3, Council Committee of the Whole recommendations, April 9th, same meeting. Any comments on that note? Okay, I'd take a final motion there from somebody. Okay, Councillor Martin wins the race, as Mayor Crane would say. All those in favor? Wonderful. Thank you very much, everybody. And we'll just keep moving right along here. We will open question period. I guess I'll just go through the semantics. Members of the public wishing to speak may ask a question of council, either electronically or in person. Yes, of course.
Was there an option there?
I'm interested if there's anybody that's looking in to actually read the motion out.
Were we not going to read it?
The council, it's not adopting minutes, it's the recommendation to go forward with the pilot project for consent agendas.
Well, isn't that coming up in what's this?
3.3.
Oh, okay.
It is kind of funny that you were like brushing over the consent agenda item.
Hey, my apologies.
Just ironic.
Sorry, I thought we were going to deal with it later in the agenda. Yeah, my apologies. Good catch, Councillor Thompson. Okay, so let's backtrack. We've already moved on it.
Forward. Do you know what you're putting forward? So.
Okay, well, let's open it up then. Let me just flip back to it. Okay.
I'll give you the motion that council instruct administration to proceed with the use of consent agendas as a pilot project. So then we would just be accepting the whole thing with all the motions in the document going forward.
Okay. We're okay with that now, Councillor Thompson? Thanks for catching it, yeah. And thanks, yeah, just for those on line, we just browsed an important document that we talked about last week. And my apologies, I thought that we were going to discuss it more wholesomely in a minute. I just misread the agenda. So we've got the motion put forward. Do we need another vote on that because Councillor Martin already passed it?
No, my vote would have been. Yeah,
Didn't
my
even know
vote,
what she was putting forward.
But now it's out in the public's eye.
Yes, I think,
Okay.
I think we'll just,
Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
Chair.
yeah,
Okay,
that's what I would do.
okay, my apologies. I had my hand on it here and I just thought it was gonna be further in the agenda. Okay, so we're all good. Let's put that behind us.
Yeah.
And we'll vote on Councillor Holiday's motion. Okay, questions, comments? Okay, thank you, Councillor Holiday, and thank you, Councillor Thompson, for bringing that up. All those in favor? And just again, for the public, consent agendas are gonna help us streamline some of our items, not as fast as it just was. But it's gonna give us greater efficiency at the council table and help us with some of our items that don't need as much review as some of the other items. Okay, so now we're gonna move back to question period 4.1. So just briefly, members of the public wishing to ask a question of council, either electronically or in person, have a maximum of 5 minutes each to present their question. And people can come in person and pose a question to our administration prior to the meeting and or online. So administration, Councillor or CAO Davey, are there any questions?
We have none, Chair.
Okay, wonderful. So I'll open and close it at 6:36. And we will continue on. Should I read all these? I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I did, I certainly did. Yes, yeah. Okay, we're gonna jump right up to bylaws and policies 7.1. Development permit application home occupation 022-2024 DP. Great application, very thorough. I'm not sure if our,
This floor is on, Chair.
yeah, if Ms. Florzone or Ms. Stewart wants to come down, or, yeah, come on down if you'd like to come sit with us, please and thank you. And if you feel like you'd like to present any of it, Denise, you can, or if you just want me to open it up to council, whatever you prefer. The application is very well done, so the floor is yours.
Well, so I will have something to say. First off, I apologize because the staff report says to MPC and to your council. So there's an error there. I'm so used to writing these applications for MPC. However, you're seeing it today because the application is within the direct control district where council is the approving authority. You've got the report. I just want to say two things that are not included in the staff report. I waited and I did not receive a response from Alberta Environment, and our land use bylaw requires we circulate Alberta Environment on applications within the flood fringe. So I just am just going to refer for your benefit an article that I had provided in a previous home-based business, major home-based business in the neighborhood, in which I had contacted Alberta Environment and I got a verbal response advising that the flood risk mapping is provided for information purposes and the municipality is a regulatory authority on the approval. So I always like to circulate one because it's in the bylaw, and goodness knows that the province may have changed their processes in the meantime, but I have not received a response from them. And then, the second thing I want to mention is we do have other home-based businesses, major home-based businesses within the direct control district. We have a coffee roaster, we have metal manufacturer fabrication shop, we have a bike repair, and an esthetician are the few that come to mind that I've approved in recent years or that have come from the desk. But so we have the report in front of you. He has support from the community with respect to persons that supported the application, and that's been provided on the map. So mostly the near neighbors, most immediately impacted, have provided support from the application.
Wonderful. That's
all I have. If anyone else has any questions for me.
Thank you very much. I'll just jump in first for council. I had an opportunity to speak to some of the residents and were very supportive of the application, having spoke to the owner firsthand. And didn't have any hesitation. Said that conducts himself very well and was in full support. So at this time, I'll open it up to council. I see no problems with the application and go from there. Councilor Holiday.
Yeah, especially with the DC, that's not appealable, the fact that you got all the signatures, all the surrounding neighbors, that was brilliant. I don't have any concerns because, the most important thing was the 5 vehicle trips per day, which you've caught in the conditions. So that there's not like a buildup of a bunch of vehicles waiting, that sort of thing. So I'm happy to give option 1 that council agreed to approve DP 022-2024 DP for home occupation major automotive tire change service on the driveway and within the existing attached garage, subject to the conditions as listed.
Great, Councilor Gordon, just before I jump over to you, I just wanted to ask you a quick question, Denise, about hours of operation. Would the business fall under in terms of our noise bylaw? Or is there an hours of operation that would be listed?
In the application, the applicant advised that the hours of operation would be till 9 p.m.
Okay.
So our noise bylaw, I believe it's 10.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Councilor Gordon, thanks for letting me jump in there.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I was looking at the differences between the two towns does deal with the amount of visits that can come. So for instance, Turner Valley's land use bylaw, which we updated on purpose regarding this, in page 69 of Turner Valley's bylaw 6.142, Article D, the major home occupation shall have a maximum of 15 visits to the property per day. And so I think, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember which one we did this in, but we have done something similar in the last year and a bit, where we increased the major home occupation visits that were in Black Diamond because there's such a discrepancy between the two.
Hairdresser.
Was it the hairdresser that we did with MPC?
I believe so.
Yeah, so I'm, if Councillor Holiday would be amenable, I wouldn't mind amending this to allow, and this is open for debate, but I mean, that's a dramatic difference. Black Diamond can only do 5, Turner Valley can do 15. And so I would like to see that increased. I don't know what number, but I mean, if we go in between, we're talking 10 visits per day. And if this gentleman primarily focuses on tire changes, you can go through that pretty quick. So I think, I know we're not there yet in lining up our land use bylaws, but I see this as a benefit to try to find a balance between the two communities. Something easy, since it is direct control, something easy that council can amend.
Thanks, Councilor Gordon. Councilor Thompson, comment?
Yeah, I'd look to Denise, so the neighbors might not be happy with that. I suspect that they are quite happy with the 5 per day, so you may have to go back to the drawing board if we wanted to amend that. So that may be one of the reasons why they approved this, because of the amount of traffic. And as we know, that a lot of the neighbors that was one of their main concerns on the other development that was put forward. I have just one question, and it's related, but it's not related. Why are these DC?
So, in order of the conversation, to Councillor Gordon's point, for the hairstylist, which is on like 2nd A Avenue or something, she was aware of the restrictions of a home occupation being limited to 5, and her clientele is female. We take a little more time in our hair. That was as much time as she needed. So, the gesture was great. But not necessary for how she operates, because she's a single individual. She doesn't have any other staff in her home. In this case, it is also one individual operating, and it's not the primary source. So if the applicant wanted to come back and he wanted to have more than one employee, like more than himself employed, like you are allowed to have non-resident employees, but because in his application, he indicated he was the sole operator, that's why I limited it to one, because that's what he said he would be providing. It may not be necessary, but he certainly, you know, council could increase it. Or if his business expands and he wants to have more trips, then he could reapply as well.
Okay, with that, Councillor Thompson?
Yeah, I just am wondering, you know, like what the neighbors would think if we upped it without consulting them, because they're all okay with it right now.
Yep.
And so, and would it be a cost to him if he finds that he needs to expand it to up that parking?
Yes, there would be, because he would have to provide. Well, no, he wouldn't have to provide additional parking. He has adequate parking on his site. So the additional cost then would only be the application fee. But if it, you know, that $200 and that's 2 tire changes a year, even. If he was to reapply is what I'm saying.
Right.
And like, I'm not sure what he presented to his neighbors when he made the petition to them, whether he said 5 or, you know, more than 5. I would suspect that he just told them what he was allowed to do.
Right. Yeah, that's just my only concern. If we go ahead and do that, and then all of a sudden we've got all those neighbors coming back on us going, this is what we agreed to.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm fine with just leaving it at 5, and then if he needs to expand it, then if that's what he's okay with himself, and the neighborhood is okay with that, then I'd rather just leave it alone for now.
Yep. I agree with that. Councillor Gordon?
Yeah, just a bit of a background from the different courses that we've taken on economic development and whatnot in a rural community. The key driving factor is business retention and expansion. We've looked at that already, but one of the key other factors is the opening of businesses from people already within the community. So I think that's why in Turner Valley, we looked at this as a major home occupation, increasing the number of visits to encourage people to look at how they can build their businesses within our community without having to go elsewhere. And that's why we allow that in Turner Valley. So just something for council to consider as we look ahead to the land use bylaw, how we can encourage our local residents to open businesses here, often using their own properties to start. So that is a key economic driver.
Thanks, Councillor Gordon. In this case, I tend to agree with Councillor Thompson. I definitely appreciate the sentiment. I would like to increase it, but knowing that the residents have already been briefed about 5, I think Councillor Thompson and Denise have brought forward some solid information there. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't amenable to increasing it.
Okay.
Because I think you would have increased risk. I know when I take my car to get something done, I leave it there all day. And so if you have 15 people doing that, trying to do that same thing, I would worry about cars overflowing into streets. So I'd be happy with 5.
Okay. Okay, council, if there's nothing further, we're going with option 1 as presented, given the restrictions listed. Any final comments? Okay, all those in favor? Thank you, Denise, and your planning team. This excellent report. And thanks for investing in the community. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, no problem at all. It was very proactive of you to go and talk to your neighbors, and that's a great sign.
I wouldn't want to deal without their support, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to do that, right?
Yeah. We appreciate that. Makes our lives a little bit easier. So thank you and good luck.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, business card, might have to take care of your services.
I don't have a business card yet. I want it to get approved first, but I will soon.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah. Get a tire change and pick up some coffee.
You got it.
Yeah.
I gotta get this one. Most
Absolutely.
guys.
Yeah,
Appreciate
and
it.
congratulations as well. The
Yeah,
new
thank
one. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep on going. Okay, so, thank you. We're gonna move to action items 8.1. And I believe I'll be handing this over to CEO Davey.
Thank you, Chair. So this, wanted to get this one in front of council to get, approval for the deputy mayor to sign an MOU between the RCMP and the town. So it's to get our CPOs back on the Alberta First Responder Radio Network, so they have the interoperability where both the CPOs and the RCMPs are talking on the same channel. So major efficiency driver and a big safety one. So I'll just read out the proposed motion and have to answer any questions. So that council agreed to authorize deputy mayor to sign a memorandum of understanding with the RCMP to grant Diamond Valley Community Peace Officers access to the Alberta First Responders radio communication system on the RCMP radio channel.
Love it. Nice and crisp. Any comments there, council? Okay. You're okay with me signing? Okay, love it. Thank you very much, Councillor Thompson. Okay, council, all those in favor? Wonderful. Thanks for bringing that to us tonight. That's great. Okay, at this time, we will move to CAO and staff reports. 9.1 CAO reports, strategic plan, priorities and projects 2024-2025. I'll pass this right back to CAO Davey.
Thank you, Chair. So this is the strategic plan, priorities and projects 2024-2025. So as you recall, we had the special committee of the whole meeting back in March, and we were looking at the strategic plan. So we do have the strategic plan 2023 to 2027, which is more of the vision and mission kind of guiding value statement. And what we have here is more of a combined sort of council and administration work plan to see us through the next phase of amalgamation. So there's 5 key priority areas in it. There's plans budgeted. So this includes things like the master development plan, fire master plan, and the intermunicipal collaboration framework. And then we have capital projects that are being budgeted. So for example, First Avenue and the ice plant replacement, which is being delayed till next year. And then we have the gauntlet of the amalgamation process of bylaws, policies, a lot of internal kind of processes. And then we have priorities other, which are items that are still high on the radar, but they're currently unbudgeted for. So consolidating municipal office, for example. And then we also have future projects and plans, which are also unbudgeted for, but we know they have to get done once they're sequenced through. So this could be things like the Parks and Rec master plan, the information management system, asset management plan, and so forth. So this chart, the intent is administration would bring it back on a quarterly basis as part of an administrative quarterly update. So we'd be seeing this again in June. And I think the key takeaway here is that it's a living document. So, once it's sort of set for 24, we would test and adjust for 25 with council's direction on the budget. And then that would lead into the next council term for how it looks from 26 through to 29. We try to make it simple as possible to understand as well. So, for example, all the green items are currently underway and budgeted for. Blue items are complete. So you'll see the fire bylaw was a large item to get checked off there last month. Gray is future years, so it's on the books, but it's currently unbudgeted for. Yellow could be a project that has an issue or delay. So for example, the ice plant replacement project, which was slated for this summer, is being pushed to next year because we have supply chain issues. And then if it's failing or not done, it would be red. So far, we don't have anything in that. So happy to take any questions.
Great. I'm gonna default to council before I jump in. Councilor Gordon, would you like to start us off?
Yeah, I love these clean reports. Really appreciate it. A question I have regarding the priority projects, the different plans that are budgeted for this year. Do we have a breakdown of the estimated cost for those that we've actually budgeted? And the reason being, especially when we look at the municipal development plan, right? Both of our towns prior to amalgamation, those were under need of drastic review, if not redevelopment of those plans. So one of the wins we're talking about with amalgamation is being able to have joint plans together, the potentiality of what those could look like with cost savings instead of doing 2 separate, what one would be. So, and then looking ahead to our budget next year, obviously these are budgeted for this year, paid for this year. We won't have these same costs next year. So do you have those off the top available right now, or can we get that later?
Thanks, Chair. I'd have to come back. They were listed in the budget, but keep in mind, these are going through an RFP process too. So ultimately what the bids come back at, the winning bid may be slightly lower, slightly higher than what is initially budgeted for. So that would be for the two that are confirmed, both the municipal development plan and fire master plan do have actual line items in the budget for 24. So they are budgeted for right now, but I'd have to come back with exact numbers.
Would it be possible, just on Councillor Gordon's point, well, maybe once they're approved in those quarterly reports, we could get that number attached once it's passed. So we don't necessarily need one for every single item, but once we understand how much the MDP is gonna cost, once it's gone through, if you could throw it in, that's not too
Yeah.
much to ask.
Yeah, absolutely, Chair. I think what we're looking to do for late June would be to consolidate an update with, what I'm calling the administrative report, which is where we bring in all the kind of department updates combined with the strategic plan update and variance reports for budgeting too. So be a kind of consolidated snapshot of the town. So I could absolutely do that.
Great, thank you. Councillor Martin,
Just one question here is pardon me, is the intermunicipal development plan, would that be with the county?
I should probably just turn this over to Carrie to be clear. This is separate though from the ICF, which we're
Yeah.
going to be working on with the county here in the next month or so. But Carrie, can you maybe help me out with explaining this one?
Of course, through the chair, the municipal development plan is with Foothills County. As council is aware, there are some efficiencies, so having one IDP, one MDP, one LEB moving forward rather than having update two of all of those will definitely be a win. We just have to get there.
So do you hope to when you have your MDP done, then you'll start working on your municipal development plan?
Yeah, so my intention, when you look at the Gantt chart, is put the IDP out for proposals shortly prior to the close of the MDP. So when I feel like we're getting into the last legs, my timing in the perfect world would be to get that RFP out at that time and just keep rolling.
Okay, that makes total sense, Carrie. And maybe this isn't a question for this time. Will administration be approaching any of the arena user groups to explore any grants that are available for the ice plant replacement? Isn't there an additional cost going to be coming?
There could be.
Okay.
It'd be something we'd have to look at budgeting. Yeah, I think generally speaking, whenever a grant's available, we would try to jump on it. But again, we've got a budget as if we don't have that upfront. So
Yeah.
I think we'll probably see an update report on the ice plant in the coming months. So the key takeaway for this summer is we are not doing it. There's delay for supply issues. So some of those costs will be borne this year to get that equipment, but it's going to be next year install. So we're still working through what that will actually look like.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Councillor Holiday.
There's only one thing I didn't agree with. It was the MDP in 2025, Q4, because that will be after the election. And so to go through the whole MDP process, I know you guys know this, but I just want to say it again. If there's any way we can hasten it so that the people that are working on it are the ones that get to approve it, so we don't get we all get booted out. New council comes in and says, we don't like it, whatever, and 200 grand, 300 grand, whatever it is, just went down the hole. So
Yeah, absolutely, Chair. I think we can shorten it with just the knowledge being that, as you shorten it, of course, that comes at the cost of consultation with the community. So that would be the, I guess, consideration. But as part of that RFP process, we could just shorten it. So rather than having it pushing 24 months, we could put it as part of, closer to 18 months. Unless I'm talking out of turn there, Carrie, but I think that's just a cost.
We can put it in, the RFP has not gone out yet, so we can put it out there and see what we get back.
Yeah,
Councilor Holiday.
yeah, I would like it in the RFP to try and get that wrapped up before the election. And then if there's anything you can do for as far as training for us to help us. Help the process to get it quicker so we don't bog it down as a council. Any ideas? I'm open to it. So.
Sounds good, Chair. Yeah, I think the big key there is just speed up the consultation process. So the more compressed it is, the more efficient it is, but it comes at a cost of effectiveness. So it's a trade-off.
I think we'd be happy to trade that off if we didn't have to spend the money again to do it again within the council. Okay, great. I was gonna ask some questions about the rink, but I'm gonna hold off until I hear more notes about the rink, because I'm a little bit heartbroken about the rink. We've been dealing with that for many, many years. I know Councillor Thompson's in the same boat as me. We're really looking forward to getting the ice done, but I understand supply issues and whatnot. So are some of the more minute things, we were looking at new boards and stuff like that. New glass was going up around the penalty box area. Is there any further information when it comes to the hockey rink, CAO Davey, in regards to that, or is everything at the rink being stopped until the ice goes in?
I'm not actually sure, Chair. I'd have
Okay.
to get back to you on that. I know we do have a whole suite of kind of capital upgrades for the summer that are underway. So
Okay,
that may be one, but I'd have to get back to you.
okay, yeah, no problem, no problem. Okay, council? I'd love a motion to accept.
Accept is amended regarding the requirement for the expectation for the MVP as far as the timeline.
Council, good, questions, final comments, okay, all those in favor? That's carried unanimously. Wonderful. Thanks, great report, Adam, thank you very much, it's great to look at that. We should show you one of our old budgets one time on Black Diamond.
Did you just open it again?
I will show you a line item. Okay, so we are done with that. Let's move right on to, just make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, we're gonna start with the committee and board correspondence and minutes. 11.1, the minutes from February 26th. That is the Regional Landfill and Resource Recovery Center. Anyone gonna speak to that? Or is it just accepting for information? Because, or I guess we don't even have to accept his information. We can just move on from it. Okay, so Councilor Martin, whatever, it's there, so I'll speak to it.
Just on a note, the landfill is making some really good revenue right now. There is some soils coming in from Ghost Lake, and that'll be coming in for the next few months. So lots of revenue coming in that way.
So just being moved from Ghost Lake down to here? Wow, that's quite a ways to move it.
To be able to, I think, land bank this.
Cool, great. Okay,
Yeah. So I
Council?
if
sorry, Hazel, finish up.
no. And so we should be seeing probably in the next month or so is the draft design of the new shop that's gonna go in there.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for the update. Council, anything for Hazel? Okay. We'll just move on from, I don't believe, do we need a motion for that one? No. I don't think so. Do we need a motion for that, Verna? For that, or is it just for correspondence? We don't need a motion for it? Just correspondence. Okay, so I'll take a motion to accept Councillor Martin's report from Councillor Kloiber. All those in favor? Okay, that's carried unanimously. Thank you. And we're gonna move on to 11.2. That'll be a verbal update from. He will defer to Councillor Kloiber.
Here.
11.2.
We had a great discussion last week. I'm not sure. 400 word limit. That's right.
You just need 6. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
At least there's not a time limit. So at the EDC meeting last week, we are down a few members and we are sort of without a plan. So the motion, well, the recommendation that came out of that meeting from the 4 members who were present was that the EDC take a 4-month hiatus while administration prepares a report regarding the planning process as outlined with the Diamond Valley Council motion of June 7th, 2023. And that motion in a nutshell is, the EDC needs information from planning on processes and how, sort of an audit of the process. And the group felt they could not proceed with any actions or activities or projects until they had this information. Yes. Any questions?
Councillor Holder?
Do we have to approve that, or is that just you're letting us know?
Well, it was actually a motion to cancel. It was supposed to be on this agenda. I'm not sure why it wasn't added.
And it is council's motion. The 230607. Oh, yeah, no, I know that that was a motion. Do they need approval from us to take a 4-month hiatus, or do you guys just not schedule a meeting?
Just not scheduling meeting.
Okay, you don't need us to approve anything. You're
No.
just letting us know.
They're recommending this though, to council.
Could you not go out looking for members?
It's not that we don't have enough members, it's that we don't have anything to do.
Dear. That's really too bad because that was gonna be a really driving force.
So without information on what the community needs and the community's,
Did you do any the assessment?
we're also waiting on the planning process audit.
Oh, okay, so there's more pieces to it.
Yes.
Okay, totally understand. Thank you, Veronica.
Councillor Gordon?
Yeah, spot on. So just to give further background, we do have action items that we want to move forward with. But without that piece, we don't, the committee does not believe it's relevant without that information. Because the next pieces are related to that and we're building towards. And without that piece, the committee doesn't feel it's, we're spinning our tires. That was the term used.
Until the planning process is done. All that is lined out. Yeah. Oh, okay.
What do you need from us?
Just a verbal update, let you know where it's at.
Okay. Okay. I'll take a motion to accept his information from somebody. If there's no other comments. Councillor Martin?
Okay.
Thank you very much. All those in favor? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, that was 11-2. All right, correspondence. It's all there. Does anyone want to touch on any of the three? We've got Alberta Disability Workers Association, an invitation to the Little Bridges Parade. Gotta be careful when you say that, how quickly you say that. And general correspondence relating to the Diamond Valley Library Board. Oh, yes, and I guess I'll make note for those that are watching or perhaps watch later. We have received a lot of emails from community members about some things that have been going on at the library. So we have updated our agenda package tonight and attached those letters as requested by the people that sent them to us. They were all forwarded to the library board. The library board stands as its own committee, and council stands at arm's length from that committee. And we have been updated when need be, and I'll just leave it at that. So if there's any further information or conversation about any of those three items, council, I'll open it up. Councillor Thompson?
The Disability Services Professionals Appreciation Week.
Yes.
They're just asking for you to make a declaration supporting that.
That's got to-
Usually bring something with a form that I would read aloud, right, for a declaration. And I stand up and I say it out loud. But it's not until the end of May. So perhaps there's more coming. I have no problem doing the declaration.
The request is, just to confirm, the request is actually for us to participate in writing up something on Wednesday, May 22nd. That's where we have the request. The statement about the declaration is just that Minister Nixon has already declared.
Mhm.
And then what they want us to do is partner with other municipalities in lighting up on Wednesday, May 22nd, 25th, and 24th to showcase the breadth of this profession across Alberta. Doesn't necessarily say what we're supposed to light up or.
Yeah.
That is a blue diamond.
That
was awesome.
What do you want us to do?
Yeah.
Light up what?
The blue diamond.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There's not a specific,
No, that's different.
Yeah, we're just making a joke about the lights still being there.
Okay, so I just, that one would be for information, but
Yeah.
are we, we did participate in the Legal Britches Parade last year, did we not?
we actually did the Santa Claus parade, we did the little bridge.
Right, Councillor Gordon and
Yeah.
Mayor Crane and
'Cause we-
Deputy Mayor.
Sorry, to the chair, we have discussed about putting a float together for these types of events. And I know that timeline's almost insane to meet that by May 18th.
Yeah.
But,
Got more time on your hands? We need a float. Just kidding. Just kidding.
In the past, it was council who put the vote together.
it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I thought it was a town truck with bags of candy.
that's what,
It's
that's about all we've done.
Yeah.
What do you want, Brendan? You want to go again?
I'm out of town that weekend, so.
May 18th?
I think I'm out of town.
And it's such short notice, like.
That's May long,
That's,
isn't it? I'm out of town.
that's Saturday, May long.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm out of town.
I'm not around either.
A long weekend's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a,
Well, we can kindly decline this time, if none of us are available. Wanna go?
no, I was in a marching band. I'm paraded out. Marching band.
Okay,
So,
if we're not going to, then we should send a letter.
Yeah, just send a letter with our regrets.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. Okay, so we've got a motion.
Yeah, we can double check with Gary, I suppose.
Well, if he's the
Pretty
only,
swamped.
yeah, if he's the only one.
Like, I could make it, but
Barry didn't advise that he would go when I talked to him today, so,
let's-
yeah. Okay, we've got a
just a
motion to
motion to
send
the
it out.
Little Bridges Parade. Thank them for the invite, but send our regrets.
Thanks, Councilor Warren. Okay, council, all those in favor? Okay, wonderful, so I'll check it off. Let's go back to the ADWA just for a sec. Is there anything that we want to entertain? I don't want to put anything else on administration or public works. Okay, so should we just leave this one alone then? Okay, that's fine there. We don't even need it. We don't even really need a motion for it. I just wanted to at least check it off.
Yeah.
Just so that we didn't leave it hanging. Okay. I believe that's everything. If there's no further questions or comments about correspondence, council. Are we okay with that? Okay, we'll just move. Yeah, we'll move from correspondence. I will take the motion from Councillor Holiday that we will go into close. And we'll do so without a break as long as everyone's still humming here. Okay, we're gonna go into close at 7:13, please and thank you. We came at a close. We're at 7:36 and we've got two motions arising out of close. And I will take the first one, Councillor Kloiber.
The council declare that the following parcels of land are surplus to the town's needs. Lot 4, Block B, Plan 8054 EK, known as 514 Windsor Avenue, and Lot 5, Block B, Plan 8054 EK, known as 526 Windsor Avenue.
I'm sorry,
Those are incorrect numbers.
we had to amend the motion.
Had to amend the motion.
Yes, sorry.
I will reread this motion. The council declare that the parcel of land known as Civic 514 and 526 Windsor Avenue Northwest, legal lot 4 and 5 block B, plan 8054 EK, as described in title number 131069976. Be declared as surplus to the town's needs.
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Councillor Kloiber. All those in favor? That's carried unanimously. And second motion, I believe, from Councillor Holiday.
That council directed administration to proceed with the sale of parcels lots 4 and 5 block B, plan 8054 EK, using the real estate land broker methodology outlined in the Turner Valley Policy and PD 0415 sale of municipal surplus land as corresponding procedure.
Thanks, Councillor Holiday. Final questions and comments, council? All those in favor? And that's carried unanimously. Okay, council, administration, thank you everybody for attending and thank you for your time tonight. I will close this meeting at 7:38.